Armies around the world are once again captivated by the news of the arrival of BTS members at Benito Juárez International Airport, AICM, in Mexico City. Jungkook, Taehyung, JIMIN, Jin, Suga, RM, and J-Hope returned to the American continent after a series of spectacular concerts in various major cities around the world. From the historic performance in Gwanghwamun Square in Seoul, the splendor of the Tokyo Dome, the euphoria in Tampa, to the incredible roar in El Paso, all of them are proof of BTS's strong influence on the global stage. Now, it's Mexico City's turn to welcome the presence of this phenomenal group. In the video footage that circulated, the plane carrying the BTS members can be seen landing smoothly under the clear Mexican sky. This simple moment actually triggered an incredible wave of emotions among fans. Many armies were moved just to see the plane touch the runway, as it signified their idol arriving safely after a long journey. BTS members were seen getting off a private Boeing 777 luxury plane, accompanied by neat but calm security. Even though it took place behind closed doors, the aura of the moment was still strong, an energy that is hard to explain, but so real to anyone who witnessed it. Although this arrival was not designed as a public event, it has reportedly already spread widely on social media. Fans from all over Mexico gathered, some waiting for hours or even days, just to get a glimpse of the figure who had given color to their lives. As the members descended from the stairs one by one, small details began to come to the attention of the fans. Jungkook looks simple but still exudes a natural charm, looking calm even though a little tired. Taehyung walked not far behind him, with a distinctive aura that remained strong even in a calm atmosphere. There was a reflective impression in his steps, as if he was immersed in his own thoughts. JIMIN, with his gentle aura, had given a small wave in the distance, even though the fans were not right in front of him. Jin still shows a calm charisma with characteristic confidence, occasionally looking around as if observing a new place. Suga walks with a calm and thoughtful attitude. RM seems focused and observant, while J-Hope still exudes positive energy even in a more closed situation. What makes this moment feel so powerful is its simplicity. There were no stage lights, no loud music, no grand choreography. Just 7 people who had just set foot in another country after a long journey. But for the millions of armies who watched, this was more than enough. This is real. It's close. This reminds us that behind the magnitude of BTS's name, they are still ordinary human beings. As this video of arrival continues to circulate, fans are starting to pay attention to every little detail. One of the most eye-catching moments was the brief interaction between Jungkook and Taehyung. Not something dramatic, just a brief glance and a subtle change in expression. But for fans who follow their journey, such a small moment feels meaningful. This is what is often referred to as an invisible connection, a relationship that is inconspicuous, but has emotional depth. In the midst of a hectic schedule and strict procedures, the natural small interactions are in the spotlight. As they walk towards private transportation, their body language shows a mix of exhaustion and enthusiasm. Mexico City, with its rich culture and passionate fans, will be the next chapter in BTS's journey, a journey that always brings new stories to each city. Outside the airport, the atmosphere is very different. Fans gathered with light sticks, banners, and messages full of love. Some sang quietly, some cheered, and many just waited in hope. For them, this is not just about seeing celebrities, but welcoming figures who have given strength and inspiration. Even though the members did not interact directly at that time, the emotional connection was still felt. It is in the air, in hope, in the togetherness of fans who come from various backgrounds. As night begins to envelop Mexico City, the city's lights seem to reflect the spirit that has just begun. BTS's arrival is not the end of the journey, but rather the beginning of new moments, new memories, new looks, and new stories that will live on in ARMY's heart. Because in the end, the most meaningful moments don't always happen on stage. Sometimes, it all starts with something simple, like a plane landing quietly. And from that point on, the story begins to develop in a deeper way, more personal, and it feels closer to the fans who follow their every step. The night in Mexico City hasn't really been quiet, since BTS's arrival. In different corners of the city, conversations about them continue to flow. Local media began to report, fanbase accounts were becoming more active, and armies from various countries joined in enlivening the atmosphere online. It was as if their presence brought a new pulse to the city. At the hotel where they stayed, the atmosphere was kept private. However, some small moments still managed to be captured, not through official cameras, but from details shared by staff or fans who happened to be around. Simple things like outfit changes, gestures, or even the way they walk are often hot topics among fans. Jungkook was seen opting for a more relaxed style that night, a dark hoodie and a hat that partially covered his face. There was an impression that he wanted to really rest, to get away from the hustle and bustle of the outside world. But it's precisely in that simplicity that many fans feel she looks more real, closer. Meanwhile, Taehyung is back in the limelight with his calm aura. He seemed to stand for a moment by the window, looking at the glittering city lights. The moment may only last a few seconds, but it is enough to elicit various interpretations from fans. Some say he looks like he's contemplating, while others feel like he's just enjoying the atmosphere of the new city. Interestingly, among all the hustle and bustle of schedules, small interactions between members remain the most anticipated. In a short video clip, JIMIN can be seen approaching Jungkook with a light expression, as if inviting a joke. Jungkook replied with a faint smile. Not a big laugh, but enough to show the warmth between them. Not long after, J-Hope appeared with her signature energy, bringing the atmosphere to a more lively one. Even in a tired condition, he is still able to bring infectious cheerfulness. RM is seen talking to the staff, possibly discussing his next schedule, while Suga chooses to sit quietly, enjoying his moment of rest. Jin, as always, still brings balance with his relaxed yet attentive demeanor. The next day was filled with an agenda that was no less dense. Starting from concert preparation, technical training, to the possibility of sound checks, which are always a special moment for fans who are lucky enough to be able to attend. Their every step in Mexico City seems to be part of an ever-evolving larger narrative. A narrative about journey, dedication, and the unbroken relationship between artists and fans. However, behind all that, what makes the most impression is not the splendor of the event or the scale of the production. Quite the opposite. It's the small, barely visible moments that have the most profound impact. Like a brief glance at the airport. Like a slow step in the hotel hallway. Like a light smile that only lasts a fraction of a second. These things are often the hidden stories that can only be felt by those who are truly paying attention. And perhaps, that's where the real power lies. Not just on what is shown on stage, but on what happens on the sidelines, in quiet spaces, in unlit moments, in unplanned interactions.